Hey guys, I'm Richard. I'm just a regular DM, and I want to talk a little bit about the prep I went through for my very first Shadowdark game. I'm running it using a book called Unnatural Selections, which is a some third party content that just came out. I'll share a link to that in a moment. But first, I want to share how I'm doing this prep. So, what am I doing? I'm using the Sly Flourish Lazy DM method because I am a lazy DM. And so I'm going to walk through what that looks like. But for those that want to know, this is the book I'm going to be referring to, Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master, and the different steps that it takes you through in order to prepare your game. In this case, I'm just doing a one shot. I'm doing a Shadowdark Gauntlet called the Lottery of the Lost. And so we'll be looking at that in just a moment. So um, I'll share a link for the Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master down in the show description. And so I want to just give a little bit of information about what I'm using, which is, again, the Dungeon Damsel's Unnatural Selection. So here you go. Here's their website, the Dungeon Damsel website, Unnatural Selection. You can pre-order it, and when you do, you get the PDF download automatically, and then you will be getting the hardback, which matches the Shadowdark book. Like it looks, it's really well done. I mean, just the artwork in the PDF looks really good. I highly recommend this. So we're going to be using the Gauntlet adventure that's included in the Unnatural Selection. And so that's just a little something to think about. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Now what I want to do is switch over. I do all my prep in Notion, and I use the Lazy DM's Notion template. You can get that by becoming a Patreon of Sly Flourishes. I'll give a link to that in the show notes as well. So let me go ahead and share my. There we go. All right. So here is my Notion. Why don't we just blow it up because you don't really need to see my big fat head as much. So this is Lottery of the Lost. I am using, like I said, this is the Shadowdark Gauntlet made by the Dungeon Damsel for Shadowdark. If you're not familiar with Shadowdark, I will leave a link to that as well. So here, let me just show you. Here is the single page Lazy DM prep template. The great thing about the Sly Flourish Lazy DM prep Notion template is that you can import it from his Patreon. It's one of the blessings you get from being a Patreon. So the template before it's altered looks like this. It gives a little intro about what the template is. Then it takes you through. Here's your 15-minute session zero checklist. Like you want to have just a super quick session zero with your players when you're doing a one shot. And then there are the steps that make up the Lazy Dungeon Master methodology framework. So first is review your characters. Second is your strong start. Third are write down any of the scenes your players could possibly encounter. Fourth, which is probably like the anchor foundation of the entire Lazy DM model, is secrets and clues. Fifth is fantastic locations. Sixth are note any notable NPCs that might show up in your game. Seven are the monsters, and eight is the treasure. So the 8 steps that make up the Lazy DM framework. Really, I just highly recommend it. Now here's my single page, one shot Shadowdark Gauntlet prep. So Lottery of the Lost. This is very much a Hunger Games feeling. There's villagers who have a super apathetic life, and there's an opportunity for them to reach for fame and glory, and maybe for some of them just death, because that might be better than the alternative, which is living in the horrific village that they live in. So these villagers from Brighthaven have an opportunity to put their name into the lottery. Their names get picked, and they show up into this domed entrance room where they will be given a single torch to then go into the darkness of this gauntlet. So here's the thing. A gauntlet is all about a meat grinder game. You're going to have 3 to 5 players. Each of them are going to have 4 or 5 pre-gen characters, 0 level pre-generated characters to go through this gauntlet. And maybe half of those characters are going to die. In one gauntlet that I was watching that somebody took their players through, he created 20 or 25 pre-generated characters, gave them out. 10 of those characters, I think, or maybe 15 died. I don't remember exactly, but that's the whole idea of a gauntlet. And when it's all over, the characters that make it out are the ones that you then turn into your first level characters to go into the Shadowdark. This is Bella. Bella wants to say hi to everybody. So, so here we go. Step 1, strong start. My strong start, like immediately the characters come in to this domed amphitheater of stone with onlookers perched around ledges all the way around. And what the players see is these people from their village and a guard holding a single torch. And that's all they're going to get. They have some personal gear, personal stuff on them as well, but they're going to get a single torch. Now in Shadowdark, a torch burns in real time, and you track the torch because as soon as that torch goes out, random encounters, the chance for random encounters shoots up. Every round, there's a possibility of random encounters. Really bad. It's intense, and especially for 0 level characters, that can mean certain death for the majority of the party. So that's my strong start. The party comes in. That's step 1 in the Lazy Dungeon Master framework. Step 2 are the fantastic locations. Since I'm running a pre-made location, this is really easy. I basically just listed out all the locations that are in the Lottery of the Lost Gauntlet. And so I just put them all out here. And what I did was over here in my Lottery of the Lost, I made basically a list of all the locations and all the monsters that the party could potentially fight. So in this case, the Twisting Tunnel, they're going to walk into the tunnel. Spoiler alert, if you're going to go through this, you might not want to watch this. Anyways, so Twisting Tunnel, the tunnel ahead twists and turns erratically. So I can easily get to this. I'll be using this when we're playing. And as the characters go through, I can easily just, link to each room and it'll be awesome. And so that's step 2, the fantastic locations. Step 3 are the NPCs. Let me back up because I messed up. Step 1 is actually review characters, but I'm skipping that step since there's going to be something like 16 pre-generated characters, and there's no way I'm going to review all of them because they're all 0 level characters. So I threw away step 1 in the Lazy DM framework, and I'm calling my strong start step 1. Hopefully I'm not confusing the hell out of you. So technically strong start is step 2, fantastic locations is step 3, NPCs is step 4. There's only going to be 2 notable NPCs in the game, Klosh and Skeetle, and they're basically the announcers of the Hunger Games. I keep calling it Hunger Games, I probably shouldn't, of the Lottery of the Lost. And they're going to be basically given blow by blow using these orbs that are strategically placed throughout the gauntlet. So I'll be giving them some character voices. Next is monsters. And so these are the monsters, all of which come from Unnatural Selection, I believe. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, then finally I put in here the discovered gear chart that's in the Gauntlet adventure, Unnatural Selection, because I just wanted to make sure that I could reference this really easy. And what I didn't do was list out all the treasure, because each room has any of the treasure. So like the obelisk, if I go to that room, each of these different obelisk glyphs can give something to the party. If I go to that's the one I went to already. This one, a little help, 5. They can find a secret compartment and find a wand of magic missiles. Again, a very cool thing that I totally missed. But in Shadowdark, when you're a 0 level character, you have something called beginner's luck, which basically means you can use any kind of gear, anything, without it being class specific. So you can wear any kind of armor, use any kind of weapon, use magic, wands, scrolls, whatever, because you're not a character, you're not a class, you don't have a class yet. But that's something very cool, using that for using the beginner's luck in the Gauntlet. Very cool. So that is my prep for the Lottery of the Lost, and that's how I did it. Very soon I will be diving into my Crown of the Oathbreaker game. That's a whole different thing. I'll be taking 5 players through the entire Crown of the Oathbreaker, and then into Spells of the Torrent, something or other, the second book that just came out. So anyways, thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions or comments, additions, deletions, leave them in the comments. Please be kind. I'm just a regular DM, not a professional. I say things that are wrong. I make mistakes. Feel free to point them out, but do it kindly, as you'd want someone to do to you. And that's all I have to say. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye.